Hi, I'm Natalie Cooper.
And I'm Dylan Saraki. Thanks for tuning in to Miami Television News.
Feminist group F Word protested in multiple activism events last week. MTN reporter Margot Austin has the story.
What comes to mind when you think F Word? You're probably not thinking about feminism. F Word on Miami's campus stands for Feminists Working on Real Democracy. April 2nd through April 6th marked F Week on Miami's campus, a week full of feminist activism across campus. I have the information.
Feminists, a part of F Word, desire to address through activism, discussion, and support important issues that impact marginalized groups. The long-term goal of F Word is to empower people of all genders, sexualities, and identities to feel confident and supported both on and off campus. F Week included multiple protests across campus. This means
it's support for victims or survivors of sexual assault, and to recognize that they're not alone on campus. And on campus we've experienced a lot of numerous sexual assault reports, and so many go unreported. So who's to say how many there are a year even?
F Word members choose to live their lives free of stereotypes. Each member is committed to equality and individual choice. Issues such as sexual assault are important to members and were addressed during F Week.
This issue is important to me because sexual assault is not taken seriously enough by students, staff, the university as a whole, and MUPD.
Signs were held up by F Word activists, a form of protest to create awareness and change involving sexual and gender-based violence on campus. F Week included multiple events both uptown and across campus, allowing members to let their voices be heard through marches, speeches, holding signs, and other forms of activism.
Wherever we go, not be victimized.
One of the many events put on during F Week was through a support group called Survivor Speakouts. These events were leading up to a march from Armstrong to Oxford Park. This march, held on Monday night, called Take Back the Night, protested the current climate on Miami's campus for students who have been victims of gender-based or sexual violence on campus. Protesters took back the night from sexual violence. F Word works to support survivors and to be loud and proud about issues. F Week was only one part of the activism, support, and discussion F Word members provide.
I'm Margot Austin, reporting for Miami Television News.
Here with us today is a Miami student activist who has responded to the National March for Our Lives movement, as well as some of the issues happening here at Miami.
Thanks, Dylan. I'm Mackenzie Rosero, and today we're here with Devante Montgomery, who's a student activist in Cincinnati and here at Miami. Devante, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, you've been heavily involved in the March for Our Lives and promoting change on campus. Could you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing?
You know, I've just been doing the work here on campus. We have done so much stuff to promote diversity and equality in terms of holding not just each other accountable as students, but also holding the administration accountable as well, because a lot of times when we think about diversity, when we think about what that means, we just look at that from that student perspective, and we don't really address the real issue. And the real issue is that there is a institutional lack of diversity here at Miami. And so one of the things I've been doing is just I've been doing the work. And what is the work? The work is inspiring younger people, the freshman, sophomore, my class and the senior class, to get involved, because ultimately, you know, one person, we can't do these issues alone, so it takes everybody. And so the work I've been doing is just inspiring people to get involved and also to hold folks accountable.
Awesome. What kind of reaction or response have you been getting, especially from those younger students who are relatively new to the school?
Yeah. You know, people are fired up, and one of the things that we need to talk about more is how can we give them more of a voice, of a platform, because a lot of times they want to get involved, but they just don't know how to. Right. And so one of the things that I want to do, or at least we want to do as a whole entire collective, not just as the Black community, but Black community and allies, is how can we give them that opportunity? How can we give them a platform to get involved? What can we do? And so one of the things that I want to see personally before I leave here at Miami is that the things that we're working on become continued.
So what kind of progress have you seen so far? You said, of course, it's going to take a while for you to really be able to look back and say, this is where we were and this is where we are now, but have you seen anything that at least makes you feel like what you're doing is showing already?
We actually had a rally against white supremacy. And so not just did you see students at the rally, but you saw faculty, you saw members of the community. And so this is the type of change that we really want to see on our campus, but also about how can we keep up that momentum? How can we keep inspiring folks to say, hey, this is not who we are. This is not going to happen here. And so it really takes all of us. And so comparative to what I've seen when I was a freshman, this is really what it's at. But however, we can't stop now. We have to keep going and we have to keep building. And so, that's why it's important that, hey, we have to make sure that people have an opportunity to get involved, that wants to get involved, but also we have to make sure that what are we doing to hold not just each other accountable, but also Miami University itself.
Have you gotten any feedback?
Yeah. I would say the response, to me at least, could be better. We could have a very much better response. Sending out an email does nothing. It's only lip service without action. What I would consider better on part of the university is them taking an institutional look at who they are. Because a lot of times, again, as I said before, when we think about diversity, we only look at that student body aspect. You can put more black students in a classroom, but if they don't have any faculty or anybody that they can relate to, how can we honestly see change? How can we honestly talk about what it means to have that notation of love and honor, right?
So thank you so much for being on the show with us today. Again, this is Devante Montgomery, and I'm Mackenzie Rosero for MTN.
Thanks for joining us, Devante.
There's been a lot of buzz around the Oxford's new indoor gun range, May Day shooting range, in light of the progress with the March for Our Lives movement. MTN reporter Josiah Collins stopped by.
I'm standing outside of Mayday Gun Range here located at 6711 Ringwood Drive. They have 6 25-yard shooting lanes and 1 private room.
Mayday Gun Range opened about, a month ago, you guys would say? So 5 weeks and running now. We're open 7 days a week. So it's been a constant business for just about that long. Students have been popping up more and more. You see, yesterday we had an entire fraternity come in with their dads. So as more and more people find out about it, it's coming along. Student nights on Mondays, so we're hoping to make that busier. We do offer lessons, private lessons. We also offer classes for beginners, CCW classes. Every time someone starts off, we start with a safety brief. We also, on each range, have multiple safety officers. All firearm sales go through a federal background check. We go through an FBI system, type it in, it goes proceed, delay, denied. We can't sell you a gun until you get a proceed, so we go from there.
In response to the national developments with gun violence, we spoke to a future educator about joining the teaching world despite the new challenges.
So especially in light of the Parkland shooting and other recent activities, gun violence is something that we've talked a lot about in my education classes, and it's definitely scary, especially knowing that you're going to be in a classroom and you never really know what's going to happen. So in my classes, we've had to have a lot of difficult discussions, but it is something that needs to be talked about now so that you can be more prepared for in the future. So I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily scared to be an educator, but I do think that it's a little more difficult because you have to be more aware of the issues going on.
Miami is encouraging positive change on campus. LGBTQ Services and Diversity Affairs is promoting their Safe Zone program and training to foster more compassion and inclusivity on campus. MTN's Mackenzie Rosero stopped by their office to learn more.
Today I'm catching up with Hannah Thompson of LGBTQ Services, and we're here to talk about Safe Zone and the new initiatives they've been working on. Could you tell us a little bit about those?
Absolutely. So we've actually had the Safe Zone program in some iterations since 2009, and then I've been here since June of this past year, and we offer Safe Zone trainings monthly and as requested, and we also have Safe Zone 101, 201, and then in the fall we'll have Trans 101. The purpose of Safe Zone is to raise awareness, increase knowledge, really get more allies and have informed allies that are taking more action, creating safer spaces. The overall goal is to make Miami more inclusive, specifically for the LGBTQ plus population. And through that, we do a lot of interactive workshops, we do videos, we do bystander trainings, scenarios, to really talk through some of the issues that our LGBTQ students face on campus and how we can address those issues.
So how can students get involved in these programs and in these and other initiatives that you are facilitating?
Yeah, so you can actually go to our website. It is LGBTQ Services at Miami, and you can register. It's a forum stack link, so everybody is able to come, faculty, staff, students, and you have the opportunity to become kind of a part of the Ally Zone network of people who have gone through the training and are considered kind of a safe person or a safe zone for students. Yeah, it's really well received from the faculty, staff, students that come, and it's just really essential to have as part of our campus fabric.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Absolutely.
And I'm Mackenzie Rosero for MTN.
And now, someone else inspiring change at Miami. We're on set today with new ASG President Meaghan Murtagh. Margot?
Thank you, Dylan. And today we have such a special guest on set with us, Meaghan Murtagh, who was recently elected as the ASG Student Body President. So welcome, Meaghan.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So are you super excited to start your year as ASG Student President?
I am. I'm very excited. I know Vincent is as well. We look forward to a good year.
Good. So what are you most excited about for the coming up year?
Yeah, something we're really looking forward to is working with the different leaders on campus, especially with everything going on right now. We think it's a great time to bring the leaders together of Miami University, really make positive change, really work with administration, and hopefully really do some good things here at Miami.
It's very exciting. So can you talk, I know there's a lot of issues you guys have talked about at debates and you've stated your platform, but what is one issue you believe needs to be changed on campus, and can you talk a little bit about how you and Vince plan on tackling that issue?
Yeah, for sure. So something that we feel really passionate about is diversity and inclusion on campus. It's kind of a big pressing issue for right now at Miami. And so something that we really want to do is work with administration to get a better representation of diverse faculty, because right now we feel though, we've talked to a bunch of students and a lot of them feel as though they don't have role models on campus of diversity at all. Something we really want to do is though, we feel like if we want more students to attend Miami University, they want to also be represented in the faculty. So working with administration to really kind of bridge that divide, because right now, if you look at administration, everyone looks the same. So just get more people with a bigger background and more ideas, and just kind of really start making change from the administration standpoint, because that way we feel like it'll trickle down and really make a change at the student level as well.
Great. So have you guys interacted with all groups on campus? How do you plan on reaching all different students here?
So we've talked to a bunch of organizations on campus, especially throughout the entire election process. We went to over 45, so we met with a lot of people, and there's a lot of people who want to do a lot of great change. So something that we really want to do is first start with Greek life and really encourage National Panhellenic Council, IFC, and Panhell to do more events together, because right now, historically, it's been pretty divided, and we feel as though we could start bridging the gap there, and that would make a big impact on campus. I think it's roughly 30% of the student body is in Greek life. We're just kind of starting there and really encouraging each other to go out of your way to attend the philanthropies and attend one another's events and kind of show respect for each other, which I feel as though might be lacking right now.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Meaghan. We really appreciate having you on
thank
set.
you.
So thank you so much.
Just announced, author and Miami professor Will Haygood will provide incoming first-year students with early access to his new book, Tigerland, for their summer reading program. Haygood will also be Miami's convocation speaker in August.
The first of 3 men involved in a February Oxford rape has been found guilty. Cincinnati's Roger Richard Michael Simpson was charged with 23 felonies. The other two men, Elijah Lee Mincy of North Campus Avenue, Oxford, and Rodney Adrian Lewis Gibson II of Cincinnati, have trials later this month.
In other news, MTN investigated the ongoing opioid crisis in Butler County.
On March 28, the Butler County Health Department hosted a seminar on the U.S. opioid epidemic at Oxford United Methodist Church. As the opioid crisis looms across the country, Ohio ranked second to West Virginia in opioid deaths in 2016. There were 232 deaths in Butler County last year, 80% of which were caused by fentanyl. 60% of the demographic is male, and 94% is white. Along with its surveillance and alerting system and disease control measures, the county has encouraged community members to carry Narcan for emergency overdose situations. Panel speakers included Health Commission for the Butler County General Health District, Jenny Baylor, Oxford Police Department Officer Lieutenant Laura Fenning, Talawanda School District Health and Wellness Coordinator Amy Masheko, Substance Abuse Counselor Natasha Markham, and Opiate Outreach Coordinator Umona Sharp.
The Miami University women's softball season is in full swing. I caught up with star player Meaghan Murtagh to find out more about her hot start to the season. Last season, Meaghan Murtagh's first in a Red Hawk uniform after transferring from Butler Community College in Kansas. She was named second team All-MAC after hitting .281 with 12 stolen bases. This year, the outfielder has raised her game.
What was exciting coming into Miami is just a new atmosphere I got to learn about. Coming into a more competitive conference, obviously, than a JUCO. What was challenging was that people already had their friend groups on the team, so I had to join myself into those friend groups, which was kind of hard at times, but I made it work.
She was selected as the MAC East Player of the Week on March 20th after a torrid 5-game stretch at the Miami Invitational here in Oxford, during which she hit .583 with 2 home runs, one of them being a grand slam. Overall, the numbers show an improved power output at the plate, as she has raised her slugging percentage from .367 a season ago to .611 so far this season. Last year was a transition, not only competitively, but also socially. Wirtz says she is more relaxed at the dish this year compared to last, after growing closer with her teammates.
Last year to this year, I think I just know my teammates better, which makes me more comfortable in the box than I was last year, which also helps when I'm fielding. It just helps knowing that I have my team behind me more than I thought I did last year.
With Wirtz leading the charge offensively, the Red Hawks have started the season with a 14-17 record overall, including a 3-6 mark in the MAC. There's still a lot of season left to play, though, including a doubleheader at Bowling Green on Wednesday and a 3-game series at home this weekend against Kent State. Wirtz and the rest of the Red Hawks have high goals for this season, but also acknowledge the need to stay in the present.
Our team goals obviously are to win the MAC, but we have to get there, of course, and then it's going to take game by game, so we're just focusing pitch by pitch, play by play, and trying to get the wins. And then individually, I just want to do good on offense and defense for my team to do as best I can to help win.
Wirtz was at it again this past weekend when the Red Hawks played Eastern Michigan. She hit 2 home runs during the 3-game series.
That's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning in to Miami Television News. I'm Natalie Cooper.
And I'm Dylan Saraki. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on social media at Miami MTN.